listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580. You're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
Wow, I have not heard this.
I like them girls. Check it out.
I like them girls. Man, I haven't heard this song in so long.
Wow.
Remember this track?
Yeah.
Gonna read some comments on social media in a few minutes right now. Blaze it on the couch.
Talking about a party, said it's gonna be cracking. Since I'ma try to push, I tell them push the buttons. Cause when it's over, straight parking lot, pimpin'. Once I find my keys to the ride, hit the spot around 11:45. Cause everybody know that's when it gets hot. Tonight I'm gonna find a little shorty for a play at a cop. Yeah, girl for me, yeah.
Wow.
My man, yeah. Who knows how to turn me on? Break me from the night to the early morn. What you want? Hair fly, the nails done. Look if she got one. That's the kind I like. I like them girls. I like them girls that like me. I like them girls in the black blue chain. Rolling deep in the six, party on the rim. Come on. Like them thick, small waist with the big old hips. I like them girls in the driving lane. That's the kind of girl I need. At the corner of my eyes.
my
You were
God.
checking out the Danny Morrison show, KBLA Talk 1580. What made you dig that?
Wait, who is that? Remind me.
I think it's Tyrese, right? I like them girls.
Oh my God, Andy, bravo,
I forgot about that
bravo,
track.
Andy.
Oh, man.
All net.
That's
That song was fire. I
Fire!
cannot believe I've not heard that in I don't know how long.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
What made
great
you
job.
dig that song out?
Yeah,
man?
what made you, Andy?
I don't know. I just felt like digging in the crate somewhere.
Oh,
And I
man.
landed
them
on that.
girls?
I was on Tyrese. I remember you saying how Tyrese has the best vocals of the 90s or something like
He
that.
does.
That's still crazy.
And I was just like, let me pick a different song from Tyrese that,
I'm sorry. I'm listening.
Burr?
Who's better? I'm listening. Who's better?
Don't do that.
Are we going to do that again right now? We're not going to do that again right now.
Do that. You ain't got to do that.
Somebody always says Stokely. And somebody say Casey. And I go, not better than Tyrese.
Wow.
Who? Who? Take your time.
Tank.
Tank can't sing better than freaking Tyrese.
Joe.
Okay. That is a conversation worth having.
That is a conversation.
I just saw Joe live at the Crypto earlier this year with Anthony Hamilton and Maxwell. He came out damn.
You just said it.
Who?
Anthony Hamilton.
No.
Go watch the verses he had with Music Soul Child.
You put him on the same
Hey,
level.
by the way,
Vocally?
Anthony will be on our show,
Ooh.
so you better change it too.
He's the greatest singer of the 90s. I'm telling you right, he's the greatest singer I've ever heard in my life. Matter of fact, he's greater than Whitney Houston. I think he's just, y'all tripping. Why y'all sleeping on Anthony Hamilton? He's amazing. He's amazing. Y'all tripping. Anthony is the man. Y'all tripping.
I know he's the man. But that's funny. Very funny.
What really had me laughing so hard is at the concert, he was dancing his running
Anthony?
man,
Anthony?
grinding, twerking, and the ladies were losing their minds.
Oh, classic. That is classic.
Gotta give it to him. I'm reading a few comments. We were talking about Deion Sanders in the first hour, and I put on our post, the teaser of the show, I'm very happy for Deion Sanders, but stop trying to tell me that I can't be disappointed at the same time. Our listeners are chiming in. Stefan Bradley said, when did it become a law for a person not to advance themselves? And he's leaving Jackson State because he's been supporting the university cutting the grass remodeling facility. There's no donation, but it is on his personal financial support. Jason Douglas Lewis had some biting remarks. He says, yep, multiple things can be true at the same time. There's nothing wrong with Deion using a lower division school as a stepping stone to an upper division school. College coaches do it all the time. Jim Harbaugh used the University of San Diego job to get the Stanford job. The problem with this Deion story is that he led black people into believing that he was going to elevate HBCUs. A lot of black people got excited over the possibilities, and there was a lot of black pride there. But I seriously doubt that Deion ever had any intentions of staying long-term to elevate HBCUs. He said that he would elevate HBCUs simply so that he could get the recruits that he needed to win, and once he won games, he bounced. Seeing that he left, he's opened himself up for criticism. If he had never said that he was going to elevate HBCUs, then there would be no issue here. Also, I'd like to say that people were very naive if they thought that Deion was going to elevate HBCUs. Deion is about Deion. Like most college coaches, he's a used car salesman.
Wow. That's harsh.
A little bit.
Listen, would we be saying... would there be a point had he talked all this talk and then, he was like, yeah, I'm going over to Jackson State, right? And then we're going to make it happen. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm going to put us on the map, these HBCUs. And then he got an offer just out of nowhere from Colorado. And then he bounced and he went and he took that deal. That could be something like, I can understand those are selling wolf tickets. Those are saying, I'm gonna do all of these things and I'm making a point to, kind of promote it, and then you see the first opportunity and then bounce. But that's not what he did.
Right.
He did what he did while he was there.
Do you think his intentions were pure when he took the job?
I think so.
Andy is not.
I think both could be true. I think he was looking out for himself. He did need to get his feet wet. People needed to see what he could do. But I also think that we all do that to some degree. You're like, listen, this is the opportunity that's been extended to me. Yeah, I do have goals of where I want to go. If this is what I'm going to do, this is my life's work now. I'm using football to be a coach. I want to be the best. I want to be elevated. But while this opportunity is in front of me here, I'm going to kill it, right? I'm going to kill the game. And you have great intentions while you're there. How come that can't be true for Deion?
Probably because he had so much success so soon. If he had a 500 record this season, he would say he's making his way. He's turning that program around. But he went undefeated this year in year 2. And of course, Division I schools are like, ooh, what Deion doing over there? Boy, he's changing the game. And they took him. But he bit. We just thought he would turn them away a few more years. Real quick, Andy, you were saying?
Mark my words.
Yeah.
If Colorado is successful within the next 3 to 5 years,
he's going pro.
You're going to see Deion in the NFL for sure.
He's going pro, but check this out. Let's flip it on you, though. What if he fails? Does an HBCU take him back? Would you bring Deion to your university right now? And all the nonsense that comes with it? Would you do it? What if he goes to Colorado? They were 1-12 this year, I think. So what if he goes there and they're still the same? And that doesn't change. And he's fired. Then what? You bring Deion onto your campus?
As an HBCU?
HBCU.
I think it depends on what side of the coin you see it from. I think this is literally a mixed review type of situation. So many people, I feel like it's split. A lot of people completely get it. They completely understand, and they're saying more so like me. Like, you know what? He did some great things while he was there. He did bring some awareness. He did bring success. He did do those things and more for even some of these kids who he basically convinced to come over there, right? And then some people are going to look at it and be like, yo, that was too soon. You're an opportunist. You led us to believe something. You were selling wolf tickets, and then you bounced at the first, sight of another opportunity, a better opportunity, quote unquote. So yeah, I just think that it depends on how you view it. But will he be okay and be coaching again somewhere? Yeah, I think so.
The struggles with that is, let's say that an HBCU does take him back, not necessarily Jackson State, but anyone, and they go, yeah, but you got to stay 5 years. What if he sucks the first 2? You want to lock in Deion for 5 years when he's not doing very well?
Would he even want to go back to an HBCU?
Probably not. If he fails to Colorado, I think he'll stop coaching.
Yeah.
But When we come forward, the Oracle is on the phone, wants to talk about Deion Sanders, and I can't wait to hear what she's got to say. 1-800-920. 1-800-920-1580. Danny Mo Show, KBLA. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
Middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're a Los Angeles Department of Water and Power residential customer, listen to this. LADWP now offers convenient monthly billing through the new Level Pay program. Level Pay helps you budget for your utility bill with a predictable monthly amount that can also include past due balances. You'll know exactly how much you need to pay each month. Don't wait. Sign up today for Level Pay by calling 1-800-DIAL-DWP. That's 1-800-DIAL-DWP.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You can also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, reminding you, when we fight, we win. Central CSO organizes for the rights of the undocumented, quality public education, and supporting in solidarity other communities seeking social justice. Central CSO stands for Chicano X, self-determination, defending public education, and fighting for all oppressed people in Boyle Heights and East Los Angeles. Find Central CSO meetings every third Wednesday. Visit online at centralcso.wordpress.com or on Instagram at CentralCS. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from and understand that that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580, talking Deion Sanders and Fahima. The Oracle is on the phone. Fahima, give us your height, your color, and your hood. Come on.
I'm 5'6", Carmel Brown, and I'm in the district by way of Harlem.
Washington, D.C. through Harlem right now. Drop that. Come on.
Now,
what's on your mind?
Now, Donnie, I'm not the Oracle, but I want to post-face my comments after I make my comments. I know I generally preface my comments. I don't want to post-face it because if I post-face it, if I preface what I'm going to post-face, you might not believe me. But also, by the way, I know Panama Jackson and Damian Williams. They started a group called Very Smart Brothers, and they were originally writing at the Griot. Mm-hmm. Panama, I haven't seen Panama since before COVID. but he has a very, very interesting relationship with his European mother. You may want to Google it, and you may want to have a show topic about it.
I've featured some of the content from Very Smart Brothers on this show multiple times. Them cats right there. I love that website. But they're not with the Griot anymore, huh?
No. No. They were used to be with the Root. They started out with the Root, and when Byron Allen started the Griot, Michael Harriet and Panama went over to the Griot.
Yeah, Byron Allen doing big stuff with the Griot right now. Boy, they got the Griot Awards.
I'm gonna reserve my comments for Byron Allen for another night.
Oh my God! Why is it every single time I think positive about somebody that's impacted black culture, you got some contrarian view about the entire person?
No, I don't want to get into Byron Allen now. I want to talk about, first of all, Deion Sanders. He has to do what's best for him, and that's his prerogative. But what I want, and I sent you and Robin a bunch of articles of top players choosing to go to HBCUs, basketball and football. In fact, Cam Newton's younger brother in 2017 chose to go to Howard. And I will say, he did. Sanders may have been responsible for Travis Hunter going to Jackson State, just opposed to going to Florida, right? But this, I think, is the first time that I ever disagree with Robin. Deion Sanders did not put HBCUs on the map as it relates to sports. Okay, now I will say this: many of the HBCUs don't have the endowment that a lot of the predominantly white schools have. But take a look at the articles that I sent you, basketball and football.
I'm looking at them right now.
Isaac Redmond, who won a Super Bowl ring, he was one of my students at the HBCU I teach at, right? And so there are so many high school players, basketball and football, who have chosen to go to HBCUs, and that's because they treat you right at HBCUs. Now, Ron Thompson was at Georgetown, right?
Right.
And and he did really, really good with getting those guys to win the games and what have you. But I know for a fact, when I was a student at Howard, and this has nothing to do with Thompson, there were people that were doing the papers for those guys. Some of them couldn't even read and write. And that's not John Thompson's fault. That was something the school was doing because the football brought in millions of dollars. Now, the HBCUs are in the MEAC, and I think, in the last decade or so, the MEAC does get television coverage.
Now, you are talking about John Thompson of Georgetown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He passed away not too long. He was a powerhouse with that football team, but I know for a fact, and this has nothing to do with him, half of those guys weren't going to classes. They weren't doing their papers. They had people that were doing their papers for them. Many of them couldn't even read because the school was using them to make money. Now, those that did have the aptitude, Thompson made sure that they got their education. And I know at Howard, if you weren't on your job and you didn't maintain your GPA, you couldn't play, right? So that I wanted to say, and a host of top high school players from across the country have for years been going to HBCUs. But again, there's 101 HBCUs, and all of them don't have the endowment that a lot of predominantly white schools have.
So let me ask you an overarching question. So why in the hell would you sign to Deion Sanders if you know you don't have the financial backing to do so?
Well, I mean, I can't answer that, and to be quite frank, I could care less what Deion Sanders does. I'm not all upset because I'm gonna tell you, this is my post face. Sports is one of the things that I know the least about. By the way,
you don't know about sports.
And I said that at the back end because if I said it at the front end, you might not have paid me any attention. But this much I do know. Because every now and then there'll be articles about, this top high school player choosing to go to an HBCU rather than going to this predominantly white school. And I just hope that they treat Deion Sanders well at this school. Because a lot of them sometimes you get there and it's not cracked up to what you think it is. I went to a conference a few years ago in Oklahoma, and the school, their football team is big, but they were just using them to make money. Mm. And in many of these predominantly white schools, these kids do not get an education. They're just using them to bring money to the school. That's why I thought it was a good thing when they decided to allow these students to, make a little money. Now, Howard, they have a deal with Nike. All of the basketball, the football team, they're all suited and booted in Nike, right? Mm-hmm. But all the schools don't have that kind of those kind of resources.
So Fahima, do me a favor. Sure. I'm going to read this post on our socials right now that somebody posted, and I want you to respond to it, and we'll close with that. Her name is Tanya Fairley, right? And from a trusted source, it says, file this under economic inequality, final thoughts on Deion Sanders. A simple Google search yielded the following results. Deion Sanders' salary at JSU was $300,000. Top college football head coaches' salaries. Nick Saban, $11.5 million. Kirby Smart, $11.25 million. Dabo Swinney, $10.5 million. Lincoln Riley, $10 million at USC. Brian Kelly, $9.5 million at LSU. The following link regarding media revenue for college football is eye-opening. I respect Deion doing what's best for his professional career. Personally, his departure continues to highlight the wealth gap and economic inequality between two communities. It is analogous to bringing a knife to a gunfight. There is no competition. The community may have wanted him to make the sacrifice, i.e. Doug Williams, and choose to stay. It is not our place to make those demands on him. It is a personal choice that he and only his family can justify. In the end, cream, cash rules everything around me. And as a community, I left wondering once again, what is the solution?
Well, what exactly is the problem? He has to do what is best for him. I'm not all upset because he left Jackson State to go to Colorado. Again, the thing is he has to do what's best for him. And again, many of the HBCUs don't have the resources.
So Fahima, are we going to admit then that HBCUs can't afford high-level coaches? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I'm not saying that. Don't put words in my mouth. What I'm saying to you is they don't have the resources. These schools get money. Those white schools get money from different sources, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I mean, they have millions and millions of dollars. And, even in the black community, we've always made do with a little bit. We've been able to make lemonade out of lemons, And I'm just saying, he has to do what's right for him, and those kids that are going to go to HBCUs who choose to, because at HBCUs you're mentored and you're nurtured, and they do get to play in the MEAC, and many of them do get drafted into the NBA and the NFL.
Give her call of the night as usual. She's so used to him. She got so many trophies on her mantle. It's probably a fire hazard by this time. I appreciate you so much.
Let me jump in really quickly. Sure. And thank you so much for the call. And I appreciate your comment. And I heard what you said. And I may have said that. I think I did talk about Deion wanting to put HBCUs on the map. And that's not necessarily what I meant. Obviously, there are a number of high school students who want to go to HBCUs, period, because they want that experience. Others who are athletes would like to play at an HBCU. So that's happened way before Deion Sanders came to Jackson State. My point was more particularly Jackson State, wanting to change that around, him wanting to put that HBCU program on the map, and he did that. It was the first undefeated season in program history, in the history of it. So that's more so what I meant, not necessarily putting HBCUs on the map.
But was that his alma mater?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Florida State. That's right.
Have either of you ever been to an HBCU football game?
No, I haven't. I want to so badly though.
Well, it's like nothing. I mean, the halftime show within itself.
Yeah.
You should check out an HBCU home because they have all the sororities and fraternities out there.
No, I've seen it on TV. I've just never been to one. I've seen a bunch of them.
Yeah. And at Howard's last homecoming, well, actually the one before that, Kamala Harris was there, and after this is when she was running. Because I think it was my anniversary in 2019, just before COVID. She was participating in the parade, and isn't the HBCU football game is like nothing you've ever seen.
I believe it. God bless you. Have a blessed night, okay?
All right, good night.
Have a good night.
Love her, love her. Yeah, let me give you a couple more comments here, because people are really, really chiming in on this one. Tavisa Parker said, everything will be all right. He left them better than what they had. HBCUs will still get attention. He said he wants to prepare these young men for the NFL. He's going to a program that needs work, and Sanders will need protection. Excuse me. They may act ugly up there. Many may act up with his leadership style. They like to make allegations. Let's not jump the gun here. You can make the case. Tell me if I'm crazy, Rob. That he has set the tone for that program
at Jackson State.
And maybe they've learned some things. And maybe they are better off for it for the long term with him just being there for 2 years.
And there may be students who want to come, whether he's the not the coach there anymore or not. There may be students who want to come now, be a part of it because they've made a history there. So
they're undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, sold out stadium's gonna happen here pretty soon here. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying too.
They're the hot. I'm trying to come back to the other side. I've been pretty distraught about the entire thing. But upon further review, rather coincidental, by the way, I'm starting to think maybe it was a good move. Get about it.
There you go. I agree.
I'm admitting that you're right.
I'm not saying there was anything wrong with it. Welcome to the side.
You were wrong on that 6'7". What does the poll say? What the poll say on
Facebook? The poll agreed with you, by the way. But I already said it's not gonna come across on text. You can't text that. It's not the same. You got to feel the beat.
Robin and Andy think 6'7" from Lil Weezy is a more high energy song than Fight the Power from Public Enemy. Somebody do some random drug testing at KBLA tonight. Bring some drug tests down here. News and traffic right now. When we come forward, we got some great upon further review clips on the other side. Danny Mo Show, stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In a contentious runoff election, Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock has defeated Republican football star Herschel Walker. Warnock's victory gives Democrats an outright majority in the Senate and hands President Joe Biden and his party a key win. Pfizer is rejecting a claim from rival Moderna that it copied their COVID-19 vaccine. The New York-based pharmaceutical company asked a federal court in Boston to dismiss Moderna's lawsuit for alleged patent violations related to their coronavirus shot. Moderna accuses Pfizer of copying two pieces of technology that make the vaccines possible. The leader of one of the nation's largest investment banks is concerned about a recession. Jamie Dimon told CNBC inflation could bring about a recession, and consumers are changing their shopping habits due to inflation. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Has your household been hit with COVID-19? Learn about a research study from the comfort of home. We are looking at ways to help people with COVID-19 feel better faster. Learn more at active6study.org/radio. That's ACTIV6study.org/radio.
If you're not listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce a can't-miss community event.
It's a celebration.
Welcome home, Mayor-elect Karen Bass.
You gotta be kidding me.
On Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., join KBLA Talk 1580 in Leimert Park at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon for this free public event as we celebrate Mayor-elect Bass's historic victory. There'll be live performances from Brian McKnight, Wapale, Club Nouveau, and more. There'll be food trucks and a diverse array of vendors, along with the attendance and participation from community leaders, elected officials, celebrities, business owners, and other notables. KBLA Talk 1580 will host Mayor-elect Bass on the main stage at 11 a.m. as we reflect on the importance of this moment and what it means for the Black community, women, and all Angelinos who believe in the limitless potential of our amazing city. We look forward to celebrating with Mayor-elect Karen Bass and you, Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon.
It's a celebration.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on, come on now.
We've got a lot to talk about. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
J.E. y'all.
Oh, that's fish.
Yeah.
Lemonade game, yeah, man. Everybody watching this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gonna chill. Me and you. We'll put that on.
Y'all know what this is.
Love it when you wind on me, when you put it right on me. All the faces that you make, all the sounds you create. When you put a little bit of in it. That's when I lose control. When you put a little in it. Start squeezing and you won't let go. When you put a little in it. Keep telling me how much you love me. When you put a little in it. When you put a little bit of in it. Oh, she's so scandalous. I love everything she do the best. Yeah. And I no competition. So down with it and so submissive. I'm in awe of you, all of you. You're my mission. Got my mind in a trance. Got my body sure to follow. Ooh, keep doing that thing you do. Go ahead and lie. When you grind on me, when you put it right on me. All the faces that you make, all the sounds you create. When you put a little bit on it. That's when I lose control. When you put a little on it. Start squeezing and you won't let go. When you put a little on it. Keep telling me how much you love me. When you put a little on it. When you put a little bit on it.
You been checking out the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. That's that Jagged Edge, produced by Jermaine Dupri. Put a little oomph in it, and that came out in, woo. That's one of the later ones. 1997. No? No? Am I way off on that one?
Extremely way off.
Wow. Come on. Am I too high or too low?
You're too low.
Is that a 2000s track?
2000.
I knew it was later in their career. I just didn't think.
2005, 2006.
No, that's that late.
Oh.
That's too late. Really? Even
higher than that. 2008. Seven.
Oh my God, I was 10 years. Oh, that's the furthest I've ever been off.
Wow.
10 years? Were they making? They weren't making music in the late aughts, were they?
They were. When you think about I'm thinking 112. What is it? Where the Party At with Nelly? That was 2000.
Yeah, it's not 2007, no.
Understandable. If I'm not mistaken, that was like one of their first two albums, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, moving forward along the decade, 2007, that might have been the third, fourth album-ish.
Yeah, that's when R&B started changing, man.
It did.
Oh, man, it really did.
Some of them cats, man, it's like... Remember I was telling you guys the other night about Tougher Than Leather when Run DMC came out, and they thought that it was just going to be this big old thing, but hip-hop would have none of it. They were like, that's cool, but hip-hop is headed in a different direction.
DMC, will you please call me?
Speak it into existence,
yes,
Queen.
DMC.
DMC.
Call me.
He's gonna call. But it is sad when you see music changing and you see your favorite artist getting lost in the shuffle because of it. Same thing happened with Big Daddy Kane. You know, all of that classic hip hop, and we were so used to the lyricism and.
Yeah, but would we appreciate those same artists had they never just stopped making music or, become not relevant? Or I hate saying that because that's a trigger word. But I'm just saying, like musically, musically not relevant. Like, would we still appreciate their artistry?
No.
Right.
But what bothered me a little bit, and if I ever interview Kane, working on it, I want to know how he felt having to try to morph into something that he wasn't. Because there was a number of artists back then, back in the late 80s, early 90s, that were hip-hop artists from the 80s that had fashioned their entire careers off of lyricism and the boom bap and all that.
Yeah.
Found themselves trying to do gangster rap. Kane was one of them. Heavy D did a couple tracks. Run DMC did a couple tracks. MC Light did a track, and they were all, and it's like, this ain't y'all.
Yeah.
This ain't, but the West Coast was taking over. They were like, we gotta capture that sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just didn't work, and they got left behind.
But you don't think they got left behind because of that, though, do you?
I think they got left behind because the West Coast took over. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not saying because music changed and it didn't work out for them, that sound didn't work out for them?
I think the sound just didn't work out for them. I can't name an artist that was really popular in the late 80s and continued to be as popular throughout the 90s. If there's one that got close, was LL Cool J.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
But he changed his sound so many different times. That's the reason he was still popular.
He did.
LL, you take his radio album back in, the mid 80s to him doing Around the Way Girl, and he got into the dance scene, because he's like, I can't stay the same.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. He also had a look that could that followed him.
Let's keep it real. Sexy sells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If LL is 400 pounds, is he successful?
Well, no, no, because he built that. That's what he did right. He had an image, a brand, and he was very consistent with that brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brought it along with him, and I think that's what worked for him. Not only that, obviously, he diversified. He got into acting, and he does a pretty good job with it, too. So I think that's helped him out a lot, actually, because he doesn't do music anymore.
Nope.
Sometimes he'll come out. I remember his kid went to Campbell Hall, the private school Campbell Hall, and my church and Campbell Hall, they were involved in doing a Black History. They started putting on Black History Month concerts, and all of these Magic John. I mean, think about all the celebrities' kids would go there, and I'll never forget this. This is on video somewhere. The kids were singing their songs, and it was like all these white kids and Black kids, of course, but all these white kids, jamming because Stacy Dillon, who's the choir director at my church, got soul, right? So, introducing all of that. One time, LL Cool J came out and started rapping. You should have seen. I mean, it was the most bananas I had ever seen. Like, so all the kids, obviously, they had rehearsed it with LL. Plus, I'm sure they all knew him, were comfortable and familiar with him. But us in the stands, you couldn't even imagine. I have to find that video.
What did he rap? What did he come out and do?
It wasn't a song of his. I think it was just like maybe with the kids, kind of like a call and repeat type of thing. But it was. I mean, he rocked it. It was so good.
Did y'all embarrass yourself? Was your husband there?
Yeah, I'm sure he was there.
How do you act when LL's on stage and your husband right there?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've never been like LL. I've never been that about him.
What if there was an artist that you're just crazy goo gaga over? Do you act a fool in front of your husband?
Well, first of all, yes, if there were anybody. I just don't know who. I don't know who would get me that way. But I wild out with anybody, though. I'm a great person to go to a concert with.
I believe that.
I am such a great time. I mean, think about it in real life anyway. I'm always, really fun to be around.
Yeah.
But at a concert, oh, I'm wilding out. So it's just, I'm a great person to go to a concert.
Around what year was that? Because LL was really hot in the 90s.
It definitely wasn't the 90s. It was, probably within the past 6 to 7 years or so. However, I don't know how.
6 years ago from today?
From today, yeah.
Oh,
so his oldest, I think it was his oldest daughter who was going there at the time. All of his kids may have gone there. Everybody has gone to Campbell Hall, but I think it was his oldest daughter. She was maybe a senior at that time or something like that. And so, yeah, he just came out and performed. So it was great.
Amazing. Look, I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. You can make the case that LL's the GOAT. You can make the case. Who got more hits? I'm telling you, you can make the case.
More hits? Ooh.
And let me rephrase that because there's a few that have more hits. Who's got more hits in more categories than L? You could make
categories as in hip hop, as in pop, or do you mean like
ballads,
genres?
Hardcore hip hop, dance songs, R&B-esque songs. He hits every single category.
That's true. That is true.
And you got to give him his props.
Drake has tapped into some like reggae, Afro beats type stuff, and some R&B, some hip hop.
It's true.
He's done a lot of that.
Are you calling him the GOAT?
No, still not calling him the GOAT quite yet, but I'm a big fan of Drake. I think he's changing his sound a little bit too much for me, but his old, like, I love him as a lyricist. If he can stick to that all day.
Well, it ain't him, so you can't give him credit. He got a ghostwriter. He does.
All right, well.
Speaking of LL, when we come forward, by the way, y'all know what an underrated LL song is I've always loved, and people don't check for it? That Headsprung.
No, listen, I was going to say that. That right there, that song right there.
Come on.
I was just knocking that song.
I'm not surprised.
It is literally.
You and I always vibe on certain.
That one right there.
Headsprung is
produced
fire!
by Timbaland.
Oh
man.
We're going to get you a taste of that on the other side. 1-800-920-1580. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Huffington Post reports a mental health crisis among Black students. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Rates of depression and anxiety among Black students have been increasing at a staggering rate. A study from the National Institute of Health found that approximately 34% of Black students reported feeling so depressed in the last year that it was difficult to function. Black students attending HBCUs have also been dealing with additional stress of bomb threats at their universities and suddenly not having access to abortion services in the wake of Roe versus Wade. According to the CDC, Black women in the U.S. are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications, and abortion restrictions could increase the maternal mortality rate for Black women. Huffington Post also reports that the quest to raising awareness for mental illness among Black Americans is a priority. Tell us what you think about this story and more on all socials at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP accident attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
They call me Big LA. Big silly. Big money.
I can't believe this wasn't.
I dropped my phone. This song is
crazy.
I can slice some of these bars so you hear me. Let me rip it up for cuz in the back. Let me rip it, get a buzz in your hat. I'ma tell you how to cause an attack. Timberland ladies love on the track. Come on. Love to get the ice pop champagne. Don't forget I used to ride on the train. When I bump it right, call my name. Go crazy in the mall with James. Don't cat not ill like me. Bring women in the chill for free. Let me tell you, girl, don't try me.
Take me through that hook, Daddy. KBLA Talk 1580. Listen.
Woo!
Is that not an energy song? How dare we not have that
How
song?
do we? No, man.
Oh, my God.
I'm so mad.
Andy, you're not feeling that? Oh, you agree? That, oh, my God. I'm just saying you can make the case on L. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
LL, I'm here for you. I'm letting everybody know. I ain't gonna let them forget.
Mm-hmm.
That over fight the power.
Oh, you better watch your lips. You better watch your lips right now, man. Let's get into it upon further review clip. Check it out. This first one is from a cat on YouTube. It's the page entitled Dear Future Wifey, and he breaks down how we are not supposed to marry our fans. We're supposed to marry our forevers. Listen.
We didn't marry fans, we married forever. And we wanted forever to act like a fan. And forever's not impressed. Forever's not impressed. There's a different culture and code for forever that fans don't have to adhere to.
Talk about it.
And so she wasn't, I'm not impressed, sir. Pay these bills. That's cute.
Hold on, you said it's a different code that forever operates in that fans don't. What is that code?
Fans are so temporal. Fans are only here for victories. Forever's here for defeats.
David?
It's facts.
Did you hear what you just said?
I did.
Wow.
Fans only celebrate in victories. I'm only as good as my last trophy. Forever says whether you have a trophy or not, I'm with you. Now, what Forever also says, if you do not have trophies, you have to level up. I'm going to be here, but level up. I'll never be a fan of yours. I will always be your Forever. And we marry fans, bro, and then wonder why they don't celebrate us when we're not winning. Because they're not forever. They're a fan.
I can't keep doing this podcast. Rihanna, how many minutes we got left? He wearing me out.
Listen.
Whoa,
Is that not real talk?
Who is that? And send me the clip.
It's just dear future wife.
Oh my goodness.
I was listening to it going, oh my God, that is
so good. That is so good.
Our fans are there for our victories. Our forever is there for our defeats.
That's crazy. I've never heard that. But that's so good because, it's the reason that these mistresses are temporarily winning, right? Because when a man has his forever, then the fans come. The mistresses, they come in the form of a fan. They're just, because you don't live with that man or the woman. You're not privy to the inside stuff, the grimy stuff, So all you see is the shined up, polished, person, and you're a fan. Now I'm whispering in your ear, telling you how dope you are, amazing you are, and then that man turns around and marries or gets with the fan. Yep. And then, when you're at home and you're chilling or you have your losses and, work didn't go well, or you start finding out some of that behind the scenes information on, you might be trying to, work on certain things behind closed doors, or credit, or, whatever, trying to get a raise at work or whatever it is. That fan is no longer impressed by that.
Nope.
That fan likes to watch you from afar, so I mean, that's really, 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 really impressive.
I'm glad you liked it. I loved it. I just went like, that is so true. There's a lot of times that us men, we listen to being gassed up by some of these women, and they're gassed up by the shine. They're not gassed up by you as a person.
That's right.
And so we latch on to that. They tell you how great you are all the time. Oh, you sexy and you this and that. And I'm telling you, a lot of us cats, we gravitate towards that. Meanwhile, our woman at home, who was our forever, might be a little sharp with us sometimes.
That's right. She ain't impressed. It's like the man says. She is not impressed. That's good.
You didn't pay the bills. What's the deal? Oh, you ain't going to look for a second job now? What's the deal? You lost your job. What you going to do? What's the plan? Lead us. What you got to do? Meanwhile, old girl down the street is sending you messages in your DMs how sexy you are. I saw you driving up the street the other day. You look sexy.
Let me tell you something. This is actually what's interesting about the clip that you just played when you said "Dear Future Wifey." It dawned on me that's where the Angela Nwandu from.
No way.
That's where that was from.
I swear you and I are connected at the hip.
Yeah.
I swear something's scary sometimes.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So I just double checked that. I'm like, she was talking to him. So here's a thing that I've always said. When you approach your like a celebrity that you're a fan of, right? When you approach them as a fan, it's almost rare that you can become a friend, because now they're going to put you in the fan group, right? So like when you overly do it as a fan, they put you in the fan, category. However, if you talk to that celebrity and you're like, I'm a fan of your work, but you start talking to them like a person, like a peer, or, just someone that you respect and that, but also that you have value in that you also command respect from them as well. And you're just having a mutually beneficial conversation with this person. You can potentially find yourself becoming a friend to this person. So it's interesting, the celebrity who, and I know this just because, not from my own experience, but just being around so many people, I see what it is. I mean, day in and day out, I see fans come, supporters, friends come, and I try to figure out what the difference is. A celebrity hears all that stuff all day. You're not adding anything valuable to me.
I love you so much. I've watched everything that you've done.
That's right. So everything that I do, you're going to love. Everything that I say, it's a yes. So that person doesn't add any value. But the one person who's just like there's a show, there's a movie, Remember the Best Man, when Morris Chestnut was the NFL, or he was a college football player, and Mia, his future wife, told him, you need to sharpen up on that, whatever it was. She tried to give him some game about his about how he played, and he was taken aback because he was like, oh my, like, everybody loves me. I'm the number one player on the team, and you over here checking me about my playing. It's because he can now see her in a different category than just a fan. You know what I mean? So similarly, just in terms of relationships, if you're always the fan of this man or this woman, you can probably never really move past that position.
And by the way, then they killed her in the second movie. I ain't gonna get into that. Spoiler alert. Damn. But to your point, is this why celebrities only date celebrities? Based on what you just said. Do they have to?
Good point. That's a good point.
Because some of these rappers, you hear in songs sometimes, they say, don't F your fans. They'll say it. And they'll probably have sex with somebody. But you ain't trying to form no relationship with them because of what you just said.
Yeah.
They'll never see you as an equal. You'll never see them as an equal either.
Exactly. And that's the tough part. I think a part of what you said is true, that the reason that they primarily will date like someone who's in their same field or something, maybe not even have the same success, but just someone who's in that same field, is just that they could understand. And they're like, I can see you beyond the celebrity thing. You know, you're just a person who happens to be on screen somewhere or on radio somewhere or whatever you're celebrity in. But yeah, if you can look at people as just people, more than likely, like, I've built so many relationships with people because I'm just not impressed. Now, I will respect what you do. I'll give you props for what you do, but you got to understand, I'm a light. So if you want light in your life as well, that's who I am. And so I'm not going to be kissing you, blowing smoke. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I respect it, but you can't get that from me. You know what I mean?
You're never smitten by a celeb?
Not really, because this sounds really bad, but
You've met a lot of people.
I've met a lot of people and have become friends with a lot of people, and people are just people. Now, give me Obama.
Yeah, you said Obama, Oprah.
Give me Michelle Obama.
Obama, you mentioned another one too. The Obamas, Oprah, and it was somebody else, I think. But yeah, that.
Because I've even met Jay-Z, and I was like, that's Jay-Z, but at the end of the day, Jay-Z is just Jay-Z.
I met Jay-Z and Beyonce. They came through my town years ago. This was prior to Jay-Z and Beyonce being together. This was the Destiny's Child, Jay-Z. You know, they were on tour together. I met them both, but I was shocked how small they were. The Destiny's Child walked in. I was like, they little?
That's funny.
Beyonce, she was on my bumper. We ain't gonna get into it.
Wow.
Okay, that's not true. Hey.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
To the left, to the left.
Don't do it.
We will see y'all tomorrow. Keep it on KBLA. Be good.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker are making their final pitches today to voters ahead of today's runoff. Here's Trey Thomas.
Speaking on MSNBC Monday, Warnock called his opponent unprepared, unqualified, and unfit.
The people of Georgia